so they'll have these bets where you can bet on a sequence of events, a sequence of random events that have these different probabilities, and people will buy the parlays because they're fun. They're not buying the parlays because they sat down and did advanced probability theory to determine what the precise odds are, to figure out what the expected value of their bet is. They're not doing that. They're just like, oh, here's $10, I don't care. So what they're basically doing is they are selling lottery tickets. That's what they're selling, these crazy lottery tickets, and people are buying them like crazy. So the future of that arena, in my opinion, is heavily leaning toward parlays. It really, to the point where if I was in their business, I'd be like, we ain't doing no more straight up betting. We're gonna do parlays. Or maybe the straight up betting is a loss leader to do the parlays where you're really making the real money. Because what happens is that the amount of money they bring in far exceeds the amount they have to pay out. And that's the secret of running a business. You make more money than you spend. So ultimately, just remember, they always lean the odds in their favor. So just keep that in mind, right? Just know that, and then I think you know this, but I just want to remind you that other things that they do is they do a lot of near wins. They like to make you think that you might win. They want you to feel like you're close enough. They want you to just kind of taste it, like, ooh, if I spin one more time, I might win. So that's like a little trick. They randomize things in a certain way so that you're like, oh, dang it, I was this close, and that makes you keep going. That's a way they keep you hooked. Also, lots of free stuff. They make you feel like a baller. They'll give you free food and free comps, and people like to brag about being a VIP at the casino, which unfortunately, if you brag about the fact that you get comped a lot at the casino, that unfortunately could mean that they're comping you extensively because they feel like you're kind of a sucker. I'm not making fun of anybody in that category, but what they're doing is they're feeding your ego by being like, oh, hey, Mr. Wilson, you're a VIP. We got your suite ready, and we're gonna pick you up in a limo. Of course they're doing all that because they're like, this dude's gonna come up in here and give us $1 million or $100,000 or whatever the number is. Yeah, we'll give you a $200 room if you're gonna give us $50,000 by the end of the weekend. So all those comps and free stuff and all that, that's another little trick they use to feed compulsive gambling. There are lots of lawsuits right now out against companies like DraftKings for basically finding the people who have the biggest gambling addictions, and allegedly, and feeding the addiction.